wish she was here. Now she's gone. What's going on, party people? We got a new and improved studio. This is what a mustache gets you. You could have been great if you bought a mustache. I paid a lot of money for this. I paid a lot of money for this mustache, my friends. Paid a lot of money. Had a lot of money. I have a feeling that I'm gonna need to put a Mati somewhere on this stream here. What's going on, Instagram? There's somebody I think who may have been from my high school who was just in the Instagram chat, which I'm gonna keep an eye on today. Hey, if you're joining us on Instagram, I'm here with my friend Claire G. She's gonna be co-hosting with me today. We're just gonna be talking about some fun stuff and some bad stuff. But join us on Twitch or YouTube. Hang on. There's like a whole ass sign I have that says, "Look at this."
Dang, I like your shades.
Thank you. It says this whole ass sign I made for people. It's not even in frame right now. This is what.
No, wait. What does it say?
It says, "Are you smart? Do you want hot babes?" And it's a chick and a dude. It could be any gender, really. But do you like money? Comment test only on YouTube, Twitch, and Substack. So if you like money and hot chicks, and if you think you're smart, or dudes, hot chicks or dudes, you can go to our Twitch and our YouTube, and I can teach you how to get hot. I'm selling courses now, Claire.
You are? I love it.
I'm selling courses to only the smartest.
Maxing.
I'm maxing. I'm doing yeah. So Claire, tell me what the plan is today. What do you got? What tell me, how are you doing today?
Oh Lord, that's a loaded question. But good, given the chances of survival in this day and age, pretty good actually.
Airport.
I think my hardest thing is just being a parent right now is a lot, trying to raise kids and how expensive everything is, and just trying to, protect them, but also educate them. And it's really hard. It's definitely something you don't think about when you're planning for a family. And so I think that's been one of the main stresses of me is learning to, teach my daughters and then, trust them out. It's hard letting your kids even go to school right now, definitely, and it's something that shouldn't be a stressor on parents' plates, but it sadly is. And I think that's kind of the one thing that gets at me is just raising the future and protecting them at the same time.
Yeah.
So it's hard, but you do your best.
I think I can't imagine, because like fear shows up for parents biologically the same way making stupid decisions shows up for men biologically. Like, I always say that I never got better. I just got tired. Like, because like when I was in my 20s, there's a reason why it's easier to teach young men to fire a gun than it is to teach them how to read. There's a reason why. And it's because young men have testosterone. It's like, if you think about evolution, like, can you imagine how bad it was if there wasn't young men dumb enough in the past to go stand on battle lines, like in the front while the horses were charging at them?
I was just talking to you.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying, man. Like, I used to watch Braveheart, and I would be like, hell yeah, bro, freedom in my 20s. And then now I'm just like,
why?
I want a hearth. I want a home. I just want to chill, bro. I want to read a good book. I would go to the sheep. And so it's interesting though, because like men have that testosterone. And I think that I think parents have the fear, because you're afraid of, want it. And it's hard to not let the fear overcome the love.
It is. You have to, and you definitely have to learn, because it's also not fair to your kids to always live in fear. They deserve a childhood too. So, you've got to find that balance of exposing them and letting them have fun, and also being able to equip them with what they need to know and handle situations. And so I really think communication is the largest thing with parenting right now, is communicate, and also learn to be their parent and not just their friend. I think a lot of parents want to be their friends, and it's just like, we need boundaries too.
Yeah. Instagram. If you're on Instagram and you're not joining us on YouTube and Twitch, you're hurting my feelings. You're hurting my feelings, people.
Steve needs a cheering up.
Nah, I'm good. I just grew a mustache. That's the only thing I got to deal with right now. I grew a mustache, so I needed to upgrade. Marky C. That's
I
my
love
guy.
that so much.
That's my guy from Warzone, Marky C.
That's awesome.
He's on the Instagram, but he never comes on Twitch because he doesn't love me like he used to when we were running. We used to jam lobbies. I think I'm gonna get a PS5. I'm 37 years old, and
You should.
I'm gonna buy a PS5 because I'm a broken man.
And then look at my husband.
What up? What's his name again?
That's Campbell.
Hey Campbell, what's up, bro?
Get a computer and come play with me, bro.
Yo, do you got? Yeah, I'm gonna definitely. Wait, you playing Call of Duty?
Yeah, I'll play with you. Yeah, I have Call of Duty on here.
What else you got on there? What's your go-to?
Right now we're playing this new like survival RuneScape Dragon Wilds game.
Sick.
World of Warcraft hardcore is like my go-to though.
Oh, okay, cool, man. Wow, I
Yeah.
love WoW.
But I love shooters too. I'm definitely.
All right.
Wait, I mean, and it's funny, like we're mid-30s too, and it's like he has his time, and he plays with his friends too from his childhood, where like one of them lives across the country. So I think it's so awesome that they get to be together and like still hang out, and it's honestly hilarious to listen to them.
No, I know. I used to play
I
with.
love it.
I used to play with Mark. I'm chatting him right now,
I love
and
that.
he used to shout out to Steve the Greatest. He said, "Love you, Marky Mark." But when him and I used to yell at each other, it was like we were like 15 again. It was
Oh
so
yeah,
funny.
it really is, and it's just fun. And like a lot of women, I don't know, a lot of my friends have even been like, "How do you let him just play video games?" And I'm like, he lets me binge watch court trials for hours. So yeah, like people need to do their own thing too.
Have you yeah, exactly. That's what I'm all about. When you're in a relationship, you also have to maintain the relationship with yourself. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? And your peoples.
Big time. Big time.
An overlap is good, but 0 on the Venn diagram, like just a single
It's
circle.
so bad.
Oh, it's horrible, dude. What I was gonna ask you is, do you guys like Game of Thrones?
Oh yes, we're
Did
like religious watchers.
Did you catch up on House of the Dragon yesterday?
No, not yet. He's been more on it than I have. I need to catch up.
Oh my gosh.
I was shocked at how much I even liked it to begin with. I didn't think I thought I was gonna not enjoy it because of how good Game of Thrones was.
Well,
But
the Game of Thrones ending was pretty disappointing.
it was awful.
Despicable.
It was a big turd. Well, it wasn't that bad. It was just like sloppy, and they were ready to do Star Wars, but then they
Yeah.
botched it so bad that they ended up getting fired from Star Wars. They did. They ended up botching season 7 of Game of
That's
Thrones.
too funny.
The Double D's, they had a development deal, and then they ended up making a reboot. They ended up making a show about if the Civil War never happened.
Wait, really?
It's so racist. Yeah, it was super racist.
How do they even make a show?
I don't know. These guys were, I don't know. Now they're doing 3 Body Problem. I do want to tour my new space because there are a lot of pictures here, and I
I was
want to
about
show.
to say, how did you set this up so fast?
It's because I got a mustache now. I'm mustache
mean,
power. Tom
break it
Selleck. Have you seen
down.
Tom Selleck? He used to solve all sorts of crimes in the space of
The
one Magnum
mustache,
PI
true.
episode. And he
You're
used to
one of
have
my
a.
favorites.
He only had like girlfriends for like 1 to 2 episodes. That's
Yeah.
divorced dad fantasy. So now I'm gonna move the camera a little bit, but in case you didn't know, I'm in my mustache phase. So, are you smart? Do you like money? Do you like hot babes, guys and girls, gender neutral? Comment test on YouTube, Twitch, or Substack. But you can only comment that if you're from Instagram, because Instagram is where the money and the hot babes are. So you have to come to YouTube, and then we'll tell you how to get all that, right? That's because it's totally possible, and I'm not a grifter. Okay, so can you see the space?
Yes.
Okay, good. Hang on a sec. I gotta get a little pointer. So kill some air. Talk about something for like 30 seconds.
Okay. Have you seen? Well, do you guys see movies in theaters? Cause I want to see the Odyssey, but I don't want to go pay for it in theaters.
Oh, that's good. You should pay for it though, because then you can
That is true.
you can support independent filmmakers.
That also is true. I should go pay for it. You're right. Also, it'd be probably a sick movie to see in the theater versus
no.
at home.
It's
I was watching a film on how they made it the other day, and it was just so it blows my mind every day how impressive that guy is with an IMAX camera. Like the fact that he can film it all on that is.
Wait, we have to talk about Christopher Nolan after I tell you about all the different stuff here, because Christopher Nolan.
Cool.
I have some good Christopher Nolan stories. So
Yeah,
really good ones. Okay.
I love it. What is this?
Okay, this is my pool cue. One of them.
Okay,
I told you I'm in mustache era, so
I like it.
Can you see the okay. All right, I have to. Okay, so can you see what I'm pointing at right now?
Yes.
Okay. This is a painting of Roy Cohn with his hand up, who actually, now that we're doing McCarthy 2.0 trials, we're doing McCarthy 2.0. This is a picture of Roy Cohn, who was in charge of McCarthy 1.0. He was closeted. Donald Trump's lawyer. This is his hand up a puppet's ass. Frank from Staten Island. That's a show I have that's in development right now. I paint pictures and I talk to a puppet Frank about
I love this.
history. Shout out to my guy Kyle. We need to find an animator. That's Donald Trump. He's going to sell his soul to Roy Cohn. Not that he had one. And then this is like a gay butch guy, and this is another gay butch guy, because Roy Cohn used to spend a lot of time at Fire Island, if you know what I mean.
That is so funny.
Yeah. Barbara Walters was his beard, believe it or not. This says Target Fascism. It's like a rat sign.
Oh, I like that.
From Chicago. That was Kat. That was on Kat Abu Ghazali's campaign. She gave it to me. You people are idiots. Thank you, Anthony. It's nice to meet you. Welcome to the chat. This is a gelato hat I got in Washington, D.C., where we met young Hunter. My friend Devlin bought this for me on a gelato date.
I love that so much.
This is a hat my friend made for me. It says "It Chooses You," which is from the movie Almost Famous.
Yes.
She made that hat for me, which is important.
That's so good.
This is Buddy Guy, who many people may know from the movie Sinners, but actually he was a legendary Chicago blues musician, still is. He's over almost 90 years old. I bought this poster in 2014, though, so I was hip to it before the Michael Jordans were. Since I'm a member of the Screen Actors Guild, I'm very proud. I have the SAG on strike, my strike sign here. This is my grandfather.
I like the strike.
This is my grandfather, the original party crasher, Chris Daphnides.
Oh, I love that.
He didn't drink because he had ulcers, but he was the funniest man at the party. This is a thank you card I made for Farah that I have to give her in real life. It says, "You were a treat, comrade." It's Donald Trump with nipple tassels and Vladimir Putin over here. And he's jumping out of a birthday.
It's the thought that counts. Honestly, that's incredible.
This is for our friends at Sway. It's Ken Bone.
Love Sway.
From the 2016 debates. This is for my friend Claire Elena. You can't see it. This is a sleep mask I got in Korea that I don't know what it means. This is Cory Booker saying Trump bad, I'm angry. And then on the top here, it says, let's go back to brunch. This says Bella Ciao. This is JD Vance having his way with a couch.
What the hell was about to say, the couch?
That's for Cats on a Couch. That's for our friend Cats on a Couch. We did a show with her where my friend Ross, who will come on.
She's funny.
She's really funny, and he's funny. He played JD Vance. It was very uncomfortable.
Yes.
This is my cousin goes to SCAD, and he painted me a Hillary Clinton walking into an apartment meme, but he used marker.
That's so good.
This is a bicentennial license plate from Missouri, where my grandparents were from. This is the Blues Brothers. This watch here is from my grandfather. This little pocket watch.
About that. That's a really cool watch.
It's 100 years old.
That's awesome.
And the chain is from my dad's grandfather on his mom's side, and the watch is from his father's father.
What? That's so cool.
This is a pawn and a bishop because I don't know. This is a thing I bought at a thrift store. This says every second
I
count.
love that
Let it rip from the Bear, because
though.
that's a Chicago show. This is my grandmother's Jesus. This
I
is
love that. That's
Um,
so perfect.
this is Fred Hampton. This is Zoran Mamdani. That's Jesus. That's the Holy
Fred.
Trinity.
The Holy Trinity.
This says fuck ice. This says my other ride is the Pink Line, and my newest piece of the collection is oh, these are some masks that
I
close
need
friend
to
of our,
send one.
what's that?
I said
Oh,
I need to send a piece.
Yeah, this one is from James Connolly, and we
Oh,
have
I
a
love that.
we have a very special guest coming soon to talk about the Irish labor movement.
Heck yeah.
James Connolly was one of the 9 people from the Easter Rising. He was a trade unionist and avowed pro-labor dude, very right.
Mhm.
And I actually kind of like doing the show with the pool cue. I think I'm gonna keep doing that.
It's fun to have something.
Yeah, no, I mean you have to have a prop. Somebody once told
Yeah.
me when you're doing an audition, even holding a glass of water makes a performance better.
Yep.
But James Connolly once said that the Irishman frees himself from slavery when he realizes the truth that the capitalist system is the most foreign thing in Ireland. So I love you, Marky. So yeah, that's my new
spot
setup.
on. All my photos are like from my kids.
That's cool. Dang, everybody's gonna be like, she's rich. No, I'm just kidding. Because kids are like, oh, that's so cute. Art is the best thing.
Isn't it?
Wait.
says-
Let's see. Make it now. Show it again because I have it small. Oh, that's cute.
It's so funny.
Mother's Day. What does it say?
It says my mom's name is Mommy. And it says my mom likes to cook noodles, which I mean it's easy to make and they're good. So, and then this is my favorite. When she is tired, she takes a shower.
Oh, what's up, Ace? Thank you for the compliments. I appreciate it. It's my new setup. That's so funny. When she's tired, she takes a shower. That
I
means
do.
mommy's
I
healthy.
tend to go lock myself in the bathroom and like that's my like you don't come in there when I'm in there. That's when I need my moment. Her favorite food is pizza, which I mean pretty spot on. I like any Italian. I like anything Italian, Colombian, Mexican, those kinds. And then her favorite color is purple. My mom likes to say she loves me. And then I love my mom because she gives me hugs. So, I mean, you can't get much better than that.
Putting on my crying glasses. That was very
Right?
It's very poignant.
And then I have notes like from my older daughter and my husband, and it's just I have to keep them there because if I don't read those reminders, then I tend to break down a lot. That's what gets me through. So it's nice.
But
I also have some really cool. I mean, like I love antiques, like you were showing. I collect antique pigs. I love
pigs.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Like I have so many. Like we got piggy banks. This is like a milk creamer.
Cool. Cool. Wait, show.
They're so funny.
Piggy banks.
Yes, I have so many. This one's like an old 1940s one. This was a milkshaker made in Japan, or a milkshaker, a pepper salt shaker milkshake. We're shaking it. Made in Japan. I love bone china. That's like Japan, Vietnam periods. Like I think the art and the history behind those pieces is just so cool. Like anything like this, like with the Korean and like the glass.
I've been to Korea. Tell me, you know what? We just came up with a new segment. We just came up with a new segment. Show and tell.
Yes.
What?
Because then we can get that would be so fun too.
We're doing it right now. It's awesome.
It is awesome. And like I have little pieces from like all over the world where I've traveled. It's just really cool to like look around and see like little reminders of like what you have accomplished because I feel a lot of times, a lot of our self-doubt comes from like we're not doing enough. And then you have a little reminder of like, wait, I've done all this. Like,
No, I
I'm
know,
okay.
it's it's crazy because that's where the fear shows up too. It's not because
It is. It's
because you forget.
hard.
You forget, and then you're not with safe people, and then you feel like you need to remind them. But like,
Yeah,
you just people just forget, man. That's
you
why.
do. You forget a lot. I think it's hard. And like, back when we were kids, we had photo albums and all that stuff. And now it's so hard. I try to do like a photo album a year, but like my mother would do them for like every month. And
Yeah,
so
no,
like
I
you
know.
have those memories, and now so I try to hold on to it as much as I can. And we live in a really old home too, so it works. I mean, you can see these are pine paneled walls from
Oh,
I think this is 1951. So
I love that.
it's awesome. I really like to bring in the old character with the design too. I also only buy secondhand because I can't. The new furniture these days is just not made well. It's not
Yeah,
worth it.
yeah, no, it's so true. I've learned this the hard way, and I'm
Oh,
actually getting.
same,
I'm only buying things secondhand now. Actually,
same.
credit to my ex for that. She
Yeah.
turned me on to like thrifting and
That's the same
secondhand.
with me with Cam. It's just so much easier, and you can find really nice things. I mean, shoot, that's where my back scratcher came from, and this thing is literally crucial.
I know this thing. I have this like lunch pail thing back here where I keep all my markers, and it's like from 1952.
That's so
Like,
smart. I love those. I
yeah,
love those.
they're the best. They're the
They
best.
are really fun. I think like they're like kind of coming back too. Like I've seen a few kids carry those, which is really fun.
Yeah, because people are like, this is lame to keep wasting food, and
Well, that and like even the backpacks they make are just not what they used to be. Like my LL Bean backpack used to get me through a decade of
oh,
school,
I
and
just
now, mm-mm.
I just read an article about how private equity is ruining
Oh my god, I bet.
they're ruining like every brand that we liked because they're like, oh well, we need it to break faster. And it's
Wow, that's so messed up.
it does make it make
Yeah,
sense. And the only time you ever make it make sense is when you realize that, oh yeah, no, everybody just does everything for money. That's all they care about.
yeah.
That's all they care about.
The
Money's the only.
drive.
Me too, though. I mean, that's all I care about is money. You know me, Claire. I'm just a
We're
I'm a
rolling.
I'm a skank. I don't like saying the word skank, but I'm a hoe for I'm a hoe for money. That's all I care about is money. I have no soul. We are so capitalist on this podcast or whatever the hell this thing is called. We don't even have a market segment yet, but doesn't matter. We got a low interest loan for $28 million because we said AI. So now they gave us all this money. I said AI a bunch of times. I went to the bank and I was like, listen, I have this idea. It's called Party Crashers. They're like, it sounds idiotic. And I was like, it's AI.
More
they're like,
AI.
And they're like,
Signs.
they're like, you're giving you $28 million. And I'm like, okay, I'll take it. We got a low interest loan now. Thank you guys. We're doing it. So now that I've got the AI loan, the startup loan, what I've decided to do is I'm going to spend all the money on company retreats and dinner.
Oh hell yeah!
And
strip clubs?
No, not
what
strip
about
clubs.
A beach retreat?
I've heard enough. 80 billion to OpenAI. Thank you. Ace Burning, thank you. 80 billion to OpenAI. Appreciate it. What's up, Blue? Thanks for hopping on. One of our contributors, frequent the Blue broadcast. Hello.
Hey yo.
Hey yo.
That's funny. Yeah, AI is nutso.
God, they're doing everything they can to try and smear Abdul. I'm gonna go with light topics today, though. I know I said Iran war in the thing, but I was, you ever feel like you're just like, oh yeah, I can handle that, and then you're like, I don't want to talk about a war today. I don't feel like talking about it, so we're just not gonna do that.
It's exhausting. I think I'm just tired of being gaslit by the government.
Yeah, samesies. It's tiring. It's exhausting.
Is he calling it a war yet, or are we still? Is this still just an operation?
I don't know. It's like, what has it been, like 6 months? I feel like it's been like 9 decades, really.
It really does.
I feel like I've been.
My gray hairs.
I've been alive for so long, it feels like.
Yeah, I think honestly the millennial generation kind of got short end of the stick with the world events.
Yeah. Seriously. I think about that all the time. Oh, this was cute. Also very weird. Can you see it?
Yes, Holland cracks me up though. Love him.
It's really disturbing. I hate
That
this.
is disturbing.
You know, it gets worse. No, I hate it, dude. This is so gross. Also, that's kind of what my forehead looks like. It's very big. So be the change you want to see in the world, and anything you dislike in anybody else is something you recognize. I recognize my huge.
What is happening?
He's making Hello Kitty out of Holland.
I know, but like, how is she doing it? Oh, okay. Oh, that's so. No,
Nope.
that looks
Nope.
like ET.
Yeah, no, I hate that. It's like ET, but like realistic. I'm trying to think if I saw something cool recently.
There was a really funny meme about Stephen Miller going back into Satan's butt crack that had me cracking up.
It was a that is funny. That is funny as hell.
I'm so sick and tired of that guy.
He does suck. Did you see this?
Which one is that one?
This is a Snapchat glasses.
Oh yes. That's terrifying.
I own Snapchat stock for like 15. Look at these nerds, dude. These are the only like 10 millennials that made it out alive. It's like the 10 millennials that are ruining everything for all of humanity. Instant classic. Snap stock falls after AR. Oh, great. So he's literally choosing what Mark Zuckerberg failed at 10 years ago.
Yeah, those look so ugly too. They're not even cool looking.
Wow, oh my god, I can play Guitar Hero in a way that I've never seen Guitar Hero before. This is so stupid.
What?
Also, like, you know how I know these people are idiots? Because like I was in a political discussion with a bunch of these like I was in a political discussion with a bunch of these like people that were supposed to be in like they are in finance. They're like very financial professionals, but I kept saying like I was an econ major in college.
Right.
So like I was saying to them, I'm like, okay, so you think AI is so great, right? And then they're like, yeah, it's awesome. And I'm like, why is it awesome? It's like because it lowers costs and it increases efficiency, which increases profits. And I'm like, oh, sick. What happens when what's the highest cost? And they're like, labor. Or they're like, I don't know what you mean. And I was like, it's labor. And guess what labor is? And they're like, human for now. And I'm like, yeah. Guess who buys shit? and they're like, what? And I was like, so you get rid of all the labor with AI, and then what happens? This is around Christmas time, right? What happens?
Humans can't buy shit.
And then guess what happens to the economy, Claire? Right. And so guess what happens 3 months after I have that conversation and a bunch of people tell me that I'm crazy?
This.
No, Citrini Research, which is you know Citrini Research? Have you heard of this?
Yeah.
Yeah, they wrote a paper about this in 2028. It was like an imaginary sci-fi research paper that said, like, imagine a world where AI has replaced human beings. So I guess I wasn't that crazy.
No.
Especially
I also have learned that, like, anyone who calls you crazy tends to know that you're telling the truth and are a threat.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Because just like, they always come out of the woodworks. And I'm like, I've said so much stuff, but when I say this and now you're coming after me so hard and saying I'm crazy, like there's something wrong about this, because I am crazy at times for sure, but when I'm speaking on things like this, like especially coming from forensics, like I come with facts, and like it's happened in several circumstances.
New YouTube video, but
you know, they tell you you're crazy and then it literally happens right in front of your eyes.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's like we're never crazy. We're just early. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's Donald Trump has earned more money in his second. Yeah, I know, dude. We've seen it
with him.
We've heard the story a million times. Donald Trump is corrupt. You know what the problem is?
What?
The problem with the problem with what was I talking about? Oh, the problem with storytellers in the pro-democracy space is that they're all
Yeah.
corporate shills. Not
Yeah.
all of them, but the thing is that there is such an economy for no shit statements. And what I mean by that is like you can get a lot of corporate money if you just say Donald Trump is bad.
Exactly.
No shit. I know he's bad, but your job is supposed to make me ask questions. So tell me something I don't know. And then it's like, oh, well, Donald Trump is corrupt. It's like, no shit. So you're not asking,
part.
you're not leading me to ask any questions about the state of the world. What you're doing is you're just asking me to engage in rage bait. And like,
Yeah.
listen, I'm all for a good Donald Trump shit talk sesh.
I love a good troll sesh.
Yeah,
Some aren't worth it.
but we have a whole troll media. They're just like are dunking
Exactly.
on the lowest hanging fruit. It's like so derivative. Like
That's the part that drives me up a wall.
it's like, dude, we're just like your thesis statement is just that Donald Trump is bad, Donald Trump is corrupt. Let's go back to brunch. No shit,
Yep.
no shit. Not everybody got to go to brunch in the first place. Go fuck yourselves.
Yep.
So yeah, oil prices fall more than 5% after US pauses Iran strikes. Will somebody make up their minds? I hope that AI
I
generated.
can't with all that stuff with the Strait of Hormuz and all.
You know who was Yemeni? Oh, you know who was
Who?
from Yemen? Oh, I'm not. Oh, I don't have my screen up right now. This is probably very confusing. You know who was Yemeni was Osama bin Laden's
Yeah.
father.
Yeah.
And interestingly enough, interestingly enough about Osama bin Laden is that like Donald Trump, his father was a real estate developer for the Saudi Arabian government, for the
Yeah.
royal family. And one thing he did was this is Osama bin Laden we're talking about now, people. He
All over the place.
what?
So we're all over today.
No, I know, but it's good. This is Neurodivergent News Network. NDN, not NDA. Neurodivergent. So what Osama bin Laden did, what his dad did was he was can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, good. My mic is kind of far away from me, and I'm a comedian,
yeah.
so I tend to go way closer than I need to. But Osama bin Laden's dad made a ton of money by being a real estate developer in Saudi Arabia, and he was very close with the royal family. And in the 1970s, there was this crazy Wahhabi Islamic cult run by this guy who believed he had found the second coming of the
God.
Mahdi. So the Mahdi was like a Quran. You know what the Mahdi is? Yeah.
Mhm.
So for those of you who don't know in our audience, the Mahdi for Islam is kind of like it's like the Book of Revelations for Christians. And in fact, in the Quran, which I actually don't think that technically the Mahdi is part of the actual Quran. Like I think it's been excised from like kind of like, you know how in Judaism they have like rabbinicals and like
Yeah.
it's like kind of I think they kind of like do the same thing where they like make like certain books like not like they do it in Christianity too. There's a reason why it's called the King James Bible. Like there's other Bibles. So the Mahdi was this guy who's going to team up with JC at the end of the world. That's Jesus Christ for those who aren't close with him. What up, Jesus? And Jesus was a socialist. I don't know about the Son of God, but basically
all that.
he was gonna team up with Jesus at the end of the world to defeat the Antichrist or evil. Now, this guy in the 1970s in Saudi Arabia, what he decides to do is he finds some guy from a village in Saudi Arabia, and what he does with like 100 other guys is they go to the Hajj, Mecca, and they go armed to the teeth, okay? And they hijack Mecca for like 100 days or something.
What?
Yeah, it's called The Siege of Mecca. There's a book about it. I forgot who wrote it, but it's really good. I think it was a Russian guy.
Look it up. That's crazy.
It's so interesting, but here's the crazy part, right? The Saudi army is trying to take back Mecca, and they've taken all of these pilgrims hostage.
Mhm.
And once they realized that this doomsday thing isn't going to work and this guy isn't actually the Mahdi, the Saudi government starts like they were shooting things.
Yeah.
And one of the Saudi royal families said that like bin Laden did too good of a job renovating Mecca because it's too strong. That was Osama bin Laden's dad. Now, what ends up happening to Osama bin Laden is that his dad dies, and eventually he does the thing in Afghanistan, which we know about. He does the
Mhm.
foreign fighter thing to fight the Russians. And then actually what happened was in the early 90s, when we were going to the first Gulf War, he went to the Saudi royal family and he asked them if he could fight Saddam Hussein so that Americans wouldn't go and land in Mecca.
Right.
Because he didn't want infidels on the Holy Land. And he had just been doing a CIA, Israel, Egypt, Pakistani backed insurgency against the Russians. So he was all like war pilled.
Yeah.
Pumped. And so he went to the Saudi royal family. He's like, yo, bro, I got this. Let me take on Iraq. And the Saudi royal family's like, hell no, get out of here. They laughed him out of the office. So then he was like a soldier without a war. So he went to Sudan. He went to Bosnia. He tried to do all these little jihads. And then he just kept getting more and more angry at America because they were in Saudi Arabia. And then eventually he issued his first fatwa in 1997 to an obscure Pakistani organization. But then when he did the USS Cole in the embassy in Tanzania, this is when the Clinton administration fucked up. You know, Bill Clinton is somewhere, right? You know, he's about to fuck one thing up, right?
Yeah.
They knew where this guy was. They knew where he was. They knew where bin Laden was. And guess what was happening? And so Bill Clinton's national security advisor, I think his name was Richard Helms, maybe. I don't know. He goes the national security advisor. You still with me?
Wait, from which one? 1993 to 97?
Yeah, it was his last one. It was in 98.
There's Anthony Lake and Sandy Berger.
No, I think it was in 98. He was still in office in 98. It's like Richard something. I don't know if he's an NSA, National Security Advisor, or what's up, Instagram? Say hello and then come to Twitch if you want money and hot babes. Okay, let's see here. Richard Helms. Is that the guy's name?
Richard Clark.
Richard Clark. Thank you. Richard Clark. Okay.
Richard A. Clark. Yeah, there we go. He was for the National Coordinator for Security, Infrastructure Protector, and Counterterrorism. Holy hell.
Guess what Richard Clark told him? This is the key to understanding why America is screwed up, because you can't have Donald Trump without for the same reason you can't have Donald Trump without Osama bin Laden, and you can't have Osama bin Laden with the same phenomena that created Donald Trump. And I'll tell you how they're the exact same person in a second. It's how we react to people like them as a country.
Yeah.
Richard Clark goes up to Bill Clinton and says they have taken out the embassies in Tanzania and Kenya. And he looked at Bill Clinton and he said, Bill, or Mr. President, or whatever they call him, I know you're in the middle of a scandal. Guess what scandal it was? The one that involved the underage intern?
Yeah.
Yeah, he slept with. Well, technically she was of legal age, but I would argue that there is no way for a president to have an extramarital affair without a woman and get consent. Creepy Bill. Before we found out about Epstein. Richard Clark went up to him and said, Mr. President, I know you're embroiled in a scandal right now. But here's the situation. We know where these guys are. They're in Afghanistan, right?
Right.
And you have a $10,000 tent city. So you can do the thing on CNN where you shoot the Stinger missiles at $10 million a pop at this $10,000 tent city, or you can send the Navy SEALs in there to kill them. Do you know all this stuff already?
Yeah.
You've heard all this?
No, I don't know it all in the detail. I've heard bits and pieces.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like glancing over at Clark now. He's crazy involved with. Wow.
Yeah. So he said to Clinton, he said there's a bunch of guys in Afghanistan and they're in a $10,000 tent city. And if you spend $10 million per missile trying to kill them, you're going to create a $10 million problem.
Right.
It's like, or you could just send the Navy SEALs and be quiet about it. And we never hear about these guys again. Put their body in a barrel in the ocean. Never hear about them again. What does Clinton do?
We all know what he did.
Stinger missiles on the thing, and then the next day, Osama bin Laden is the Che Guevara of extremism in the Middle
Yep.
East. Guess how Donald Trump got started? Because we all knew he was a joke, right? And then he kept saying racist stuff about Obama. And what does Obama do? Instead of ignoring that loser, White House Correspondents' Dinner joke. Why would you write a joke about a loser?
That was so bad.
It was like dumb. It was even dumb to give him oxygen.
It was.
As soon as he did, then we saw Donald. That was the first time we saw Donald Trump. Donald Trump was like, "See, they hate me. Look, I was right."
I wasn't even watching because I totally forgot about it. And I remember my friend messaging me and was like, "Did you just see that?" And I was like, "What?" So I went and watched it and was like, "What the fuck?"
Why are we making fun of losers, con men like Donald Trump? Like he should be. Why is he invited to the White House Correspondents Association?
He's not a correspondent. Like,
He's
it's
a
crazy.
He's a sham wow salesman at best. He's like,
I wouldn't
that's
even
the
give him
problem.
that. Like,
that's the problem, dude. These kids are just, and his dad's a real estate developer, just a bunch of nepo babies, and like they become.
yeah.
they
And
become-
sadly, like I'm dealing with that at a local level because our mayor is a white old rich guy. His brother owns Global Properties LLC, which is $1 million corporation, and then his other brother owns one of the largest real estate attorneys offices in town. And so guess what? Guess who just won a $23 million bid contract? They did. And it's just like, and they won it in a very, really bad way. There was a lower bid that just dropped out. And, it's just, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of all these saggy old men joining together and thinking they have great ideas.
Yeah, no, that's exactly it, though. They're not smart. They're just bookies.
Yeah, they really are just bookies. And it's disgusting.
Have you seen the movie Trading Places with
Yes.
with Eddie Murphy? I don't want to get a copyright strike, but there's that
I
scene.
haven't seen that in so long. I need to watch it again.
There's a scene where they like Eddie Murphy's. So basically, Trading Places is in the 1980s. It's about like a homeless guy, Eddie Murphy, who gets like basically these two rich guys have a bet that they can make him like rich, like them, like that it's one of them says that like this guy's born to be a loser, and the other guy says no, it's just his circumstances. So these two rich, old, white, horrible men make this bet, and they pull Eddie Murphy into a limizzine, and they say, "Hey, man, like, we're gonna teach you the ropes of trading commodities." And then he's like, trading, what does that mean? He's like, well, pork barrels, orange juice, all of these different things make up markets, and you have to buy them in a market. And he's like, somebody has a price and the other person has a need. And so blah, 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 blah. And he starts talking. He goes, oh, you guys are just bookies. You guys are just a couple of bookies. And like, yeah, it's true. It's just a casino, man. This whole thing is. And it's like, do you know anything about casino design? My ADHD is like, I'm embracing my true self.
Yeah. I mean, not like a lot, but basics enough because of forensics.
So can I ask you something? I'm asking you something so that we can learn together with our audience. Like, you're a forensic behavioralist, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, we can talk about true crime next maybe. But how are casinos laid out? Do you know how they're laid out and why they're laid out that way?
Windows.
Because they want to keep people in there depressed and spending money routinely.
Exactly. And I heard what's your husband's name again?
Campbell.
Campbell.
No windows.
I love that. I love that.
I'm telling you, I tell him all the time that you two are like so like.
He should be on the stream.
He should be. Y'all should do one time. That would be so fun to listen to y'all.
Yeah, well,
he's a really good guy. He's very smart.
I can tell. He's with you. That's a good choice. You guys are strong ass. You guys are strong ass. You're strong ass people.
He's the reason why I can do what I do a lot of times.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I'm making a rubber band ball, by the way.
I love that. I love rubber band balls.
But you have to start from scratch, not with a tennis ball. That's cheating. You have
true.
True. So basically, casinos. Yeah, Campbell's right. Obviously, he's always right. You too. But there's no windows in a casino. There's no clocks. and everything in the
I
casino,
didn't realize the clock thing.
there's no clocks. And if you look at a casino, if you want to know why design is important, look at a casino, because a casino, if you look at the ceiling, it's very blank. And if you look at the carpet, it's very
It's
loud.
not. Yeah.
And you know why that is?
Because they're always looking down.
No, because you don't want people to look down or up. You want them to look at where?
Directly into the slot machines.
That's exactly right. You want to keep their
That's
eyes.
crazy.
Here's the other thing. It gets crazier, Claire.
And isn't it, it's like if you keep going in, like there's something.
That's right. So the whole point of a casino is that you completely surrender yourself to your bad impulses, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
So
what I thought.
it's designed like that. So you go into a casino. If you go into a casino, next time anybody's in a casino, tell me how many right and left turns you have to make in a casino before you get to the bathroom. The answer is 0. And the reason that is because why, Claire, why would you not want to, if you wanted people to be impulsive, why would you not want anybody to have to decide what direction they're going?
Exactly.
Because if you have the wherewithal to know if you're going left or right, then you have the wherewithal to know that you're going to lose at the slot machine, right?
Yep.
So here's where it gets really, really, I think it gets really, I mean, the whole thing is predatory. And the reason I know all this is because I used to be a problem
It
gambler.
definitely is predatory.
I used to be a problem gambler, and I banned myself from casinos because
Oh, good for you. That's hard.
oh, it was really hard. It was really hard, but I'm glad I did it. And it was like I think 11 years ago.
Good
That's
for
a,
you.
that's a whole separate story. But yeah, it's like even anytime I like am tempted, like if I download like a gambling app, I immediately
Yeah.
I email the gambling thing and I just say ban me forever.
Stop. I love that though. So that's self-awareness right there.
I've done it on Polymarket, Bodog, Kalshi. Like I've banned myself from everything so that
Good for you.
because your phone is just a slot machine. But
Yes. You have access to the world.
yeah, exactly. And it's all just dopamine hits. Like every notification is just a dopamine hit.
Target marketing.
Yep. And so in a casino, what they do is because it's all about money. Is the best like you said, just keep your eye on the slot machine. If you go to the outside of a casino, the thing that's always in the back of a casino or hard to find is a poker room because the casino just charges rent for the poker table. They charge you like 5% to play, right?
Oh.
So there's not really that much in it for them. But the reason they let people play poker is because if you leave the poker room, you have to walk past the
slots,
the blackjack machine. Or the blackjack, the craps, like there's a whole lot of ways for them to win the money that you won in the poker room and then some. But if you walk into a casino, the first thing you always see when you walk in is the slots, and the last thing you always see is the slots. So they put the games with the highest house edge on the outside, and then as you move in, you can find like one blackjack table. But here's the craziest thing, and this is exactly what happens. This is exactly how the economy works.
Yeah.
This is exactly how the economy.
No, it really is.
And what happens is that there are some guys think that they're brilliant because they bought a fucking slot machine.
Right.
But it's like, nah, bro, you're a bookie. Like you just you're just the house. Like you're just the house. Like that's all you're doing is you're either, you're loaning money, you're buying property
so true.
and exploiting people. It's like you're not creative. All you are is afraid you don't have enough. And you've weaponized that fear so that you can have a nice house somewhere, which is fine. I don't have anything against anybody who's wealthy. I do have things against people that think their wealth makes them exceptional.
I can't stand it.
The only people I know who are exceptional that are wealthy, they tend not to talk about money. They talk about ideas, right?
What did we just talk about today? I literally was just talking to him about that today.
More. Sorry.
How it's just like people who come from money, or not even come from, people who have worked hard for their money and have it, do not share that info.
Yeah.
You might notice it because they might have a nice house or whatever, but like even my dad, who has worked for every single penny he has, my parents come from nothing, both of them. I mean, my mom's an immigrant. My dad grew up in 50s, 60s in Miami, which was like Cuba back then. So, they both lived very different lives and both worked very hard to get to where they are. And so I had to work hard to even get an allowance. I had to do actual jobs around the house, and my parents had me working at 15 under the table for a good friend, like family friends. They never were just like sit around and hand things over to us. And thank God they didn't raise us that way, because now I have that work ethic, and now I have that perspective of like, you stay humble. And my dad would much rather show that he has money by inviting all his friends to go on a trip versus just throw it out there for items and objects. And I think that's the coolest thing, is just that, like,
Yeah.
he does, I recognize my privilege. I'm still spoiled and I'm married with kids, but like, I think it's awesome that my dad at the end of the day can, treat us to a vacation. And he would rather do that than buy 10 houses and invest stock in these crazy companies. Like, there's a difference for sure about loud money and quiet money.
For sure. And that's the thing about, see,
Hard.
I was the opposite. My parents, like my grandfather, who's behind you, he was a barber his entire life, but he just saved every penny he had,
I
and
love that.
he bought a bunch of like he sounds like your dad, just like an immigrant, like
Yeah.
worked their asses off, just like made really shrewd decisions. But like my parents, because I was a lot to handle, believe it or not, when I was younger. So they just spoiled me, because they're always like, there's something wrong with Steve, but if we get a super soaker. So then I had like 100 super soaker. I didn't have 100, but I had like 10. And then, we'll get them Nerf guns, and then it was like Pokemon.
Oh yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I was definitely I got great gifts. I had great.
Oh,
holidays.
but I got gifts. I got a lot of gifts, and like, but they didn't know how to set boundaries with me, because and so they didn't teach me that you don't get peace from stuff. You get it from within, because I was never without. So if there's no scarcity, there's no value in self, because and then I learned the hard way. You gamble, you think you're gonna get in. That's what gambling is, though. It's not really gambling. It's just it's kind of like masochism. It's like you get to lose. Norm Macdonald.
That's true.
Norm Macdonald one time said, like, it's kind of awesome when you
that's
gamble,
so true.
you lose everything, and then you find enough money for a cup of coffee. It's like one of the best things ever. You're like, I'm rich. But you like lost 500 grand doing. I never lost 500 grand, but
thank God. I know some friends who have, though.
No, I mean, I lost a lot of money, but luckily
sports betting's pretty serious over here.
Oh, it's so bad.
Yeah,
it's the next opioid crisis.
It really is. That's what I was saying. It's like it's just crazy, like how with all these apps now, they make it so easy.
Why is it so bad over there?
I think because North Carolina just doesn't have strict gambling laws. They really there's so much that goes on, especially with sports betting, and I think because South Carolina doesn't allow it, so then people from down there will come up here for races, and we have NASCAR, so that's a whole other thing.
Oh, I'm sure that's so much gambling. You know what they gamble on a lot is cricket.
Yes, I saw that recently. I was like, what the heck?
I was at like a thing with a bunch of friends from high school, and like we used to watch sports together. I never bet sports. It was never my thing. Like I don't like watching sports. I think sports it just bored me. I always wanted to like talk about politics or like history or like literature. I wanted to talk about like I was like an undercover art kid through like my I went to Spain and started smoking like hash like alone. And reading like Hunter Thompson and Anthony Burgess, and I was kind of like,
that sounds like me.
I was like, maybe I'm not wearing maybe wearing Polo Ralph Lauren and getting a job at a bank isn't for me. But I never bet sports, but I went to this thing for March Madness last year, and I was there with I was there with my brother and all my friends from high school who I hadn't seen forever, but my brother kept up with them. My brother's like super even. Like he's like the opposite of me. Like I'm very sensitive. I get overwhelmed easily. Not like I can handle my shit, but like if I'm like in a situation where there's a ton of people, I'm like, whoa. Like, like there's a lot.
I'm the same way.
And that's why everybody's like, "Oh, you're such an extrovert." I'm like, "No, that's just like me trying to like control the inputs that I'm
Same.
receiving." That's why I'm decent at stand up, is because like I'm kind of like, "Oh, I have to make all of these people happy, but I'm the loudest one." So this is going to be great.
So true.
But
That makes sense. Stand up, I feel like I don't know. I freeze up.
nah, you'd be fine. It's kind of stand up is just kind of like we're going to get some stand ups on the show. I kind of want to talk to people. I felt like it was kind of
That would be so fun.
It's like the performance version of codependency, though. You're just like, the crowd is like your metric for success every night. And if it's a bad
For
crowd,
sure.
it's your fault if you're a good stand-up.
For sure.
But yeah, no, I was at this thing with all my friends from high school, and like, a lot of them are just like pretty normal dudes. Like, they all have good jobs, but like everybody was looking at their phone during the game. And I'm like, Alex, what's going on? This is my brother. And he's like, I'm like, why is everybody looking at their phones if they're watching the game? He's like, oh, they're all betting on the game.
Live betting. Yep.
And I'm like, oh my God, dude, I'm so lucky I got a gambling addiction. Like when I had to go drive to the casino, because if I had a gambling addiction,
That's what yes.
If I had a gambling addiction after when the apps were, I don't think I would have had the strength to quit. But here's the crazy thing. Claire, what addiction has the highest risk of self-harm?
Gambling, right? Because you lose all your worth.
Yeah,
or alcoholism.
No, it's gambling. Do you know why?
Yeah.
Do you know why it's gambling though? You could probably guess. Why would gambling have the highest amount of self-harm?
Because they don't want they having to come forward about the shame and stuff, or admitting to the problem, or like there's a lot of cases I've read where sadly they take their own because of that.
And there's no outward signs of it. What's your title? Forensic psychologist?
So in order to be a forensic psych, you have to go into your master's, which I just didn't do because kids and life. But I do. So I'm like a forensic analyst, but behavior. I mainly do that. And like comparative data. So when we go through like trials or stuff, I can be pulled in to do forensic fact first evidence or whatever they've like appeal. Like for instance, on wrongful convictions, I come back in and I do like the forensic fact deposition of like what actually was shown and happened versus what in theory the sentencing came, and I don't know, all kinds of things. I really want to go back to school and get into LiDAR mapping. And
what's LiDAR mapping?
So like mapping out a crime scene or after the fact, like using like the environmental aspects around.
Ooh.
Yeah, so right now I'm using a lot of cyber, where I'm going back and watching cam footage of incidents that have taken place over in the state. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say the I word. With the IOF, and then comparing them to crimes that have taken place with like the leaves and the building structure and the dirt and like what surrounds the environment, and like having to match up like where the crime took place and proving that it was there. So I love stuff like that. I liked pattern analysis and recognition. I was always the kid that was doing Sudoku on the airplane or like the bus.
Oh, really?
I'm a weird kid. Yeah, I like to figure things out.
It was.
No problem.
I was tripping earlier today because I was like, the show, like, are we gonna only talk about politics? Like, I want to make sure we have balance, and like, you know, our friend, my co-host,
balance.
And what's that dog's name?
This is Bella.
Bella.
She's my little Mexican street doggy.
Yeah, love that. What's up, Bella?
She's not.
But you know how great Megha is. She's like the Zen master. She was like, Steve, like, I think you're overcomplicating this balance thing. And I was like, what do you mean? And she's like, just like, I think if we just hang out, it's going to be fine. You can talk about whatever you want. And I was like, yeah, I guess you're right. We don't have to. And I'm like, now we're talking about LiDAR mapping. So LiDAR mapping is about, sorry, I'm in this middle of this. I grew the mustache. So I'm in the self-discovery process.
I love it.
Thank you. I call it dirtbag behavioral therapy, Claire. This is actually my new it's because nobody has health insurance, so you can't go do behavioral therapy.
You really
So
can't. It's so expensive.
so I'm doing one of the things that you can do if you have emotional discomfort is change your outward appearance a little bit, make yourself a little outwardly uncomfortable,
Why
because then you,
girls always get their hair done when we have like post breakups or a big move or stress.
or grow a mustache.
Yeah.
That yeah, I mean I don't know anything about breakups though. I'm totally I've been dating myself for 37 years and it's been tumultuous, but we're still
Hey,
together.
say we're still finding ourselves out, okay?
Yeah,
We gotta learn
that's
every step. But no, I swear, anytime like girls break up, or, like their relationships, they go get their hair done. Like it's one of like the biggest things.
I feel like men have to make the opposite decision. They have to make a decision that makes them feel insecure because men get
I
angry
get that. I
and
get
like
that.
I typically get sad when like I have a big life change. So what
Yeah.
I'll do is I'll grow a mustache. That's not why I grew a mustache this time. There's no big life
Yeah.
change. This is just
For fun.
yeah, this is
Sherlock
for fun.
Holmes style. Hey, listen, with all that's going on right now, that's enough reason to be growing a mustache with dealing with Trump. So
Yeah, and that's
yeah.
I going bald? I don't think I'm going bald, thank God.
No.
Um
We're
the
not.
that's one of the horrible things about being an actor is like when you have to do audition tapes and stuff, like you know what you looked like when you were 27 and you're like,
Yeah.
it's not my fault though. It's not like I'm not like I don't care like that I get older. I have a skincare routine, and that's pretty much it. But yeah, no, you grow a mustache, you're a little uncomfortable, so you're not worried about the thing that's got you down.
Yeah.
You can put a penny in your shoe. That's a good thing that actors do when their character has a limp or something.
That's so smart.
Like, or you know what I do sometimes if I'm anxious is I will wear one of my socks inside out with shorts, or if I have a t-shirt
That's so
on,
smart.
because then people notice the sock.
Yeah.
And then I'm noticing the sock. I'm not noticing like the fact that I got a bad haircut or something.
That's
Like,
so smart.
yeah.
I like the distraction method. That's really good because it can also like trick your brain into like that being the distraction instead of the other.
That's
I like
exactly
that. That's smart.
Wait,
You could be a psych doctor.
no, I want to hear more about this LiDAR mapping. So it's basically like crime scene, like seeing what's in a crime scene and then basically making deductions about the crime.
Yeah, so what we do with USGS LiDAR is what we use is our system. It's basically a remote technology where we are sensing say like the ground is down here and this is where the crime scene took place, and then we're using some type of thermal camera to come over and map out like where basically three-dimensional surfaces so that you can read into soil. You can look into the ground if there's soil disturbance, if there's leaf disturbance, if there's a pattern, if there's footprints, like for instance with a crime scene, if we're looking into a kidnapping, for an example, if someone has gone into a house and taken a child, one of the first things we do is we look at footprints. We see, is there one set of footprints? Is there two? Did they come in and pick and carry the child out, or did the child walk out on their own? Something like that. It gives you more. I'm still very much adamant about using like forensic soil scientists who are really good at studying soil and the different soil patterns, because I think they're truly some of the most incredible people, how they can notice stuff like that. But LiDAR is another way of helping us retrieve information about the crime and if the crime took place there or what happened there. And it's just with like heat thermal a lot of times with reading those levels. It lets you read below the ground as well. It a lot of times is used, and we used it recently for the autistic kid who was missing for a few days. They were able to find him because of that thermal reading. So there are some pluses to it. However, I do not like the way that the U.S. government is going with UAV drone thermal.
Yeah.
Like surveillance. I do not like that.
Just for the audience, because I didn't know what it meant either. LiDAR is an acronym of light detection and ranging.
Sorry.
Laser imaging, detection, and ranging, also often stylized LiDAR. So it's basically using laser imaging, detection, and ranging.
Mhm.
Actually, my uncle was one of my uncles. It's my uncle-in-law, but he did his thesis at UC Berkeley. He used to be the chief
No
physicist of
way.
the atomic clock, and his thesis advisor was Charles Towns.
Wow.
You know Charles Towns?
He's well known in that. Yeah.
He did he invented the laser.
Yeah.
He so
That's. I would love to read his thesis. That's incredible.
Yeah, he did his thesis about I forgot what it was about, but actually it was cool because the guy who was doing his thesis next to him did his thesis about discovering the first black hole in the universe.
Yeah.
And he was actually next to the guy when he figured out it was a black hole. Like they got the readings, they put it
No
like
way.
because up until the 70s they thought that black holes could exist, but they didn't have proof that any of them existed. And then they used I think it was like a radio telescope or something, or a teleradio telescope. And they basically figured out
That's so cool.
and so he was just standing next to the guy and he's like, "Oh, I think it's a black hole." And then he went and talked to Towns, and then Towns was like, "Yep, congratulations."
That's
but
insane.
the interesting thing about the LiDAR thing though is I think it has changed how crime scenes are analyzed so much. Because I mean, do they still do grid searches?
Yeah. Grid search is still one of the most especially in the first 24 hours. That's
Can you
like
explain what a grid search is?
Yeah, so grid searching is where if we have a large property of land, whatever, acres and acres, you take as many people as you can, you're gonna grid it out into sections, and you're gonna do each section by section. It's very strict in the way you walk it a certain way, you stay in your line. This kind of ensures that you are covering every square foot of the crime scene to look for traces, evidence, and basically anything. And they can be very good for especially the first 24 hours to 48 hours of a crime, especially if it's a missing person or if it's a homicide and they're looking for evidence, stuff like that. And it's really useful. And I will say I love grid searches still because a computer can see certain things, but the human eye, there's nothing that can beat the human eye. And I think when you have other people out there who have different, like for instance, when I'm looking for something and I can't find it, my husband can tend to find it in like 2 seconds. So that's like grid searching. You have someone who may not be able to see something, but the other person can. And I think it helps a lot with getting evidence within the first 48 hours. Recently, like we see a lot of LiDAR use with bloodstain patterns after the fact. So that, like with the laser, for instance, that's when that comes into place. So when we see like a shooting happen, or a bloodstain, if we don't know what caused it and there is bloodstain, we use the laser LiDAR mapping for that, and that can kind of give us a sense of where it took place exactly, what kind of angle it happened at, where the person was standing, and just it's crazy. I mean, it can reconstruct a whole crime scene on the computer. And so I think that is great. I'm just also very old school in the sense of I like to write things down. I like to draw things out. I walk around with a clipboard a lot of times. Still this, and I write everything down. And then I kind of go in and type it out because
Me too.
I'm just, with ADD, I kind of have to.
Yeah, same here. Because it's like if I don't have the weight of something in my hand at all times, I get like it's like a ballast, like on a sailboat.
It is.
It keeps you weighed down.
It is.
That's why.
But yeah, so I mean, it is the really good thing with that is that our eyes are trained to do measurements, but LiDAR mapping comes down within like 3 centimeters of precision. So that, like, you can't really beat that. And now with that and with our DNA, with genetic testing, DNA and all that, like we're solving cold cases from decades ago. So it's crazy. It's really crazy how that far that's grown in forensic science. And I think it's a really cool career that people can go into. A lot of people think that you have to work for the government. You don't. I don't.
Yeah.
So it's I think it's really cool, and I think a lot of women would love it. A lot of our brains are wired that way to solve things and figure things out, and it's a good outlet. And it is a fine line of having to separate my emotions of some of the cases I'm on, and coming home and dealing, just being a mom, and it is hard. But I also think it gives me that, like that outlook of, I'm helping. At some point, this was someone's baby too, and like I want to help them as best as I can to give them answers. So,
That's really beautiful because that's what
it's
it
a
is.
rewarding job. It's hard but rewarding.
It's like the embodiment of the golden rule: treat others the way you want to be treated, and like
Yes,
treat their loved ones like. And I know that's horrible to
absolutely.
say, but like part of the thing that I think is important. This is not about forensics, but it is about, I think, one of my values is like it's they talk about the sanctity of life, but I think about like the scarcity of life. Like we have to understand. Dave Chappelle has this great interview. He's talking about stand up, and he says when people are nervous on stage, they tend to speak faster, which is the wrong thing to do, because if people aren't paying attention to you because you're nervous, you're talking too much. What you do is you speak less because it becomes more valuable. People lean in. You don't have to ghost on here.
It's so true.
And it's like what they teach you in nursing school. Like they taught people in the OR, like if anybody ever pulls your hair, people want to run away. But what you're really supposed to do is lean back into a wall because it creates slack. You know what I mean? And in boxing, you lean into the punch. So it's like all these things are like these little things that like I think about the scarcity of life. And like when people realize that life is scarce, you start behaving better towards other people.
Yeah, you really do. And I think, I've had some incredible life experiences. I've really gotten to do things that I never thought I could do. I mean, living in Uganda, unreal. It was like the best time of my life and hardest time of my life for sure. But it's just, it kind of
You lived in
opens your.
Uganda?
I did.
Whoa, okay. Well, keep telling me about the experience, about what you learned from it, and then we can talk. I want to ask you about Uganda.
Yeah, but I think coming back from that and then, kind of getting into my career and then having kids, like that's really what like changed it all. Was like I want to treat someone as well as I would hope they would treat my kids. And I don't care what you look like, where you come from, who you believe in. Like, you can worship whatever. Like, that, nothing of that ever hinders my response to help them. And I feel like that is something a lot of people lack these days, is actually being able to connect. And it sucks because we badly need human connection right now.
I agree. My mom taught me a lot of good things, but one of the best things she ever taught me, she said, Steve, she told my brother too, and we both listen to this. It's like the best thing you can do to be nice to somebody is be nice to their children. Like, if you want to do something nice for a parent, do something nice for their kid.
It's literally the best. Like, I can't even tell you how nice it is to hear. I'm getting compliments about my 9-year-old and stuff like from school. It's just, it really is, because it's like I'm doing a good job, and that's all we want. Literally.
Yeah, it's like
I want to raise kids who will do better than me and go further than me, and like that's just. I feel like if at the end of my life and that's what I've accomplished, then I'm good.
Better than you found it. It's the first rule of the warehouse. That's the warehouse, and I guess life, in my opinion, at least. Some people not so much, but
no.
Tell me about.
People like that.
Give us okay. So
wait, yeah, where are my pictures?
Tell me about Uganda. So
Uganda was like the
Chicago Bish. This is why you're the general. This is what Chicago Bish said. She said, "Why was Claire in Uganda?" I'm asking Chicago Bish. Give me a chance.
So I was there. Where are my pictures of Sam and all that? Hold on 1 second. I was trying to find my. I had them up here the other day because I was showing someone else. So back in, I can't even remember the year it was now. It was a while. Oh, here they are. I applied for an internship through, my mother is an incredible mom. She was a nurse, and one of her nursing things was she did a lot with Doctors Without Borders, and she went over to a clinic in Uganda where she learned that they had internships. And at the time, I was a clinical research major, and forensic psych was on my minor. And so I applied for this internship randomly to go over and be like a nurse clinical research intern, specifically with administering HIV/AIDS drugs and doing clinical research tests. And I got accepted into it.
Which drugs did you administer?
We had several that we were running. So they were already running the trial. I just took more medicine over to keep it like running. Sadly, our CDC is awful and does not send medicine over there like we should. And they only get like a few medicines at a time. And with any autoimmune disease, you get used to medicines. You have to change them, especially kids who are born with it. And so we had I think I had 12 kids total that I was taking care of, but I was also taking care of a lot of kids who were just left because they had special needs problems. Over there, witchcraft is still really prevalent, sadly. You know, just the lack of education. It's not their fault. The lack of resources, the lack of education, and they kind of just don't know what to do.
Can you explain for our audience what you mean by, like, you're not talking about like Wicca, you're talking about
No.
You're talking about like body mutilations and stuff like that.
Yes. So they believe that like anyone with like special needs or like body issue, any kind of that, they just believe that it's like, especially if they're still believing in it, they think that it's like a possession of like that there's something wrong in the child.
Ooh.
And so like we saw kids get left in the streets, but we also worked with a ton of families who loved their kids and just they needed help. They don't have the resources, and so we would go down there and teach them or about how to care for their kids, and we would provide soup kitchens and free clinics and education. And but honestly, like, I learned more in life and everything there than I think I could have ever taught them. Like, they taught me way more, and I really just fully immersed myself in the culture, and it was just some of like the most beautiful moments. Like, this is Grace, and she suffered from hydrocephalus. Trying to get it so my Ring camera doesn't pick it up.
Oh,
But that's little
it looks like
Grace.
a halo for little Grace. That's cool.
Right? Wait, what just happened? There we
No.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
And then, like, I mean, these were like all my little kids. That's Sam.
Oh, hey, what's up, dude? That's cool.
This is Philip and Henry. Philip was one of my HIV little boys. He was a sweetheart. And actually, he's like 18 now. We still stay in touch. And so it's really cool. Like, I'm hoping to take my kids back within the next few years. But it was it was a great time in my life. It was very hard, obviously, but it was by far the best year.
What's a cool thing about Ugandan culture that Westerners don't know but should know?
They are probably one of the most beautiful communities I've ever witnessed. They love and care for each other like nobody I've ever seen. When you live in a village there, you're protected. No matter, they will look out for you. They don't even have to know you. I was literally welcomed with the most beautiful cultural dance and colors and joy, and there's kids running around the streets playing with sticks and tires, and they're the happiest kids in the world. And yes, they may not have access to money or health resources, but it's one of the most beautiful, loving, incredible countries I've ever been to. The streets are like a brick red and the sides are like a bright green color in the floor. Like it's just stunning. Like you don't the whole place feels like you're in a like painting. Like it's something it's so special and the weather there is actually incredible because of where it's located by the equator. So you get consistent like 70-degree days and it's amazing. The wildlife is incredible. The people there, they're unlike any other. It's they make you feel at home.
No, I was getting so relaxed by that description of Uganda, Claire. Claire, you're gone. I don't even think the banner is there's too much going on and we've gone all over the place. We've traveled all over the world. If you're just joining us now, we were talking about problem gambling, true crime. We were talking about Uganda, Chicago Bish. What else were we talking about? We touched on a lot of stuff. We were talking about LiDAR. Oh, Claire's back. I was trying to explain to everybody what we've talked about so far, but I don't think I could capture the scope of our conversation.
No, that was a lot.
I have to now I have to check out what should I use this chalkboard for? I don't think you can see it right now. Hang on a second. Let me go to a different view. Son of a
I don't know.
Oh, you can see it now. It's widescreen. You can see the chalkboard now. What do you think we should use this for?
I'm trying to think of something that could be like, funny, like the funny of the day, or I don't know. Or leave we? Oh wait, didn't we do that one time where we ended on like a poem? What if we ended on like a good quote or a funny joke?
Ooh.
I don't know.
Oh, that's a good idea. Okay, I got a good quote for the day. Shout out to actually, it's good because it was the quote that I was gonna put up there, and then I ended up talking to the person that told me the quote. And actually, it's pretty cool because I'll tell you who said it. I don't know how to use one. I never got to use the chalk marker at the restaurant for the sign. Do you know how to use one of these?
Yeah, you gotta like once you shake it, like get a piece of paper and like hit it into the paper and like try to get the ink to come down.
Do you have to do that every time?
No, once you get it going, it should start.
All right.
But you like have to get the paint down into the pen.
Okay, I got it.
I use it for like my first day of school signs for the kids.
All right, I got it.
Oh, John's here too. Though.
I'm excited. My eyes, my allergies are rocking me. Do y'all have allergies up there?
Yeah, we do. Today it hailed.
Probably the dumbest question. I know you do, but
No, I mean it's a legit question because there's some climates where you don't have it.
true.
Hang
Lucky them.
I have. All right, I'm gonna make that bigger in a second because it's kind of small and it's kind of.
You have to get used to it. It's hard to write with them.
Yeah, that's why I got a dry erase board too. But the dry erase board, the problem is that. Well, anyways, I got a lot of problems with dry erase boards. Don't get me started. It is near perfect though. I kind of want to get a chalkboard, but I don't like how it makes my hands dry.
Same. The texture kills me.
It's like cardboard. I hate cardboard.
I have like a sensory issue with that one for sure.
No, me too. I hate the feeling of cardboard on my skin. It is disgusting. Who invented cardboard? Why? Can you tell me why that is? You're a forensic analyst.
I don't know. That's a good question. Who invented cardboard, to be quite honest? I think they did it because didn't they start like paper mache, like melting paper? Like, I don't know.
Well, can you describe what cardboard feels like for you? Because I want to know that I'm valid.
Like sandpaper with like, it makes my skin like.
I think it's just like a cheaper crate.
I don't know. Like, it makes me feel like get the chills down my back kind of feel.
Mm-hmm.
Like I want to crawl out of my skin.
You know who they used a grid search for?
Where we go?
Who?
Well, not for well, the victims of Ted Bundy. It was very
Oh,
effective.
that's right. Yes, they did. That was a really good search too.
Yeah. And they were able to use it. It was important because can you hear me?
Yeah.
It was important because they were able to identify the victim's remains in the context of the animal.
That's right. That's
movement.
right.
Because animals had moved it so much. The crazy thing about serial killers is that they're obviously monsters, but they're also very like animal.
Oh, a lot of them are very well liked people in society.
Can you tell me why that is?
The sociopathic kind of covert narcissism plays into that with like they can charm people a lot. They tend, and then it's also like I think they like crave that double life of like they have that normalcy, but like they also have to please their satisfaction of a sick mind. But I really think it's the covert narcissism of them being able to charm people into the trap of that. And then once they get them, especially with Ted Bundy, he was very much that way. And it's just crazy. Like honestly, anyone who lives a double life to me is wild because I can't even keep up with one.
I know, and it seems like it would be so heavy. Like I'm so like
So heavy.
like you have like I would feel so much shame, you know?
Like yes. Like that yes. Agreed. It's a lot. Like it's a lot. Like I don't understand. I think that's what also made me so into forensics is wanting to understand their brains.
Who do you think?
And
Who do you think the most? And I know that it's like I don't want to say this is interesting, but what was kind of the case that used forensic pathology to get justice for victims that inspired you and said this is the practice of forensic pathology done right and the reason why I want to get into this profession?
oh my god.
Is that a good question? Did I phrase it correctly? So that
no, that's such a good question. I get asked a lot of
No, you
questions about
froze.
things.
Okay, you're
Am I
back.
frozen? Okay. So for me, one of the biggest cases that really sucked me in as a young kid almost was Zodiac. And that's still not really that's never been solved, although I have a firm belief with forensics that it is pretty much solved. They just don't want to deal with it. Forensic leading wise, I actually have a list of my cases that I've like so I like there's a cold case that happened in well, I think one of the most relevant ones obviously is the Golden State Killer. I mean, that forensics was literally the reason why that got solved. And I think that is super cool. I also think that the case where excuse me. These are seriously I mean, and obviously Ted Bundy was probably one of the biggest, but I think the one that really got me was the BTK killer.
Tell us about how the BTK killer was caught.
How he was caught
Yeah.
being an idiot.
Yes, that is the greatest.
I mean, and that's the thing. They always get.
He's gonna come hit him.
They're always gonna mess up. So what happened with him is that he got cocky, and then kind of started leaking. What was it? The letters, I think, in the early 2000s.
Yeah, it was
There was a newspaper that featured him.
the Wichita Eagle.
Yes. And he didn't like. He wanted it. He was cocky. They get caught because a lot of them are cocky.
The way it happened, you're right. So basically he hadn't killed he was dormant for like 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
And he was like a park ranger cop. He was like a wildlife warden.
Yeah.
In Wichita. He's a total piece of shit. He would like go to women's houses and be like, your dog is out of control. And they'd be like, get away from me, you creep. Like, why do you want to come in my house to talk about my dog? Because he wasn't killing, but
it
he
was crazy. And then he like sent the metadata, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was the thing.
Yeah.
He started writing the newspaper, and he said like, the newspaper was like, yeah, why don't you send us your note on a floppy disk? And he's like, you can't, but you have to promise me that you won't trace me because that's not fair. And they're like, yeah, we promise you. Like the FBI like promised him that because he thought so highly of himself and and he thought it was just a game. Like, but he didn't like understand that like no, like you're hurting innocent people, like friends, family, sons, daughter. Like the Otero crime scene is one of the most
Yes.
horrific crimes committed against.
I think that crime scene is the thing. That's probably the crime scene that like stuck with me forever.
It's horrible. It's one of the most. And there was and the thing
That's
that
awful.
the thing that really messes me up about that is like because when I watch true crime documentaries, I can't watch the ones where they're just talking about I get really upset when they just talk about like the
The
numbers.
killer, not the
Yeah.
victim. Yeah.
Not because one, it's the wrong thing to do, but it's like I always think about what it would be like to be like that person's husband or son
Same.
or whatever. Like I always like put myself in the shoes of the people who are still
Same.
alive. And
Currently, like the Lindsay Clancy case, like that. I've been trying to put my shoes in like Patrick's shoe. Like,
so the fact that there was an Otero survivor that wasn't
Yes.
home and was like the oldest brother. Like
Yeah,
talk about survivor guilt. Like your two younger siblings and your parents are it's the
it's
worst.
so hard. I think that's what wrecked me too.
So the BTK basically said, yeah, you promised me not to look. This is what he did. He killed like 9 people, I think, in like 20 years, and nobody could find him. And he started writing letters again in the 2000s. And he's like, hey, if I send you a thing on a floppy disk, can you promise me not to trace me with it? And they said, yeah, we promise.
And they traced it like to his church, didn't they?
Yeah. They just looked at the like, and it wasn't even the metadata. Like, okay, like Claire, it wasn't even metadata.
They just saw the photos of his church.
No, they went to like you can go to a floppy disk and click like you know how you like click info on a file?
Yeah.
You're like, oh, it's a PDF from this date, this time.
Stop.
They
He
just
left
clicked
it
info
all
on the floppy disk and they're like, it's the First Lutheran Church of Wichita. And they're like, who had access to the computer? It's like 4 people. And it's like, well, it's not that 79-year-old grandma.
Right.
It's not that guy because he wasn't alive in 1975. It must be this guy, Dennis Rader. And then they just literally reverse engineered their entire investigation. But it was forensic pathology because they figured out that the guy would be stupid enough to do this.
It's crazy to me that that he was able to send like that. That one was crazy to me. And then there was another one. This one was super, super old, but the killings, they got solved recently, and this was probably one of the cases that really like wrecked my world, was the 1956 murder and essay of Lloyd Bogle and Patricia Kalitsky. It was in 1956, 3 boys discovered the body of 18-year-old Lloyd Dwayne Bogle near his car. Victims he was unalived. The following day, a county road worker uncovered another 16-year-old body. Same thing. And then the killings went unsolved until literally 2021. And they slowly were able to get him because of that forensic genealogy. And they tracked him back to a second cousin who then tracked him back to the first cousin and then matched him to the person. And I don't think people realize that when you take those DNA tests to figure out your ancestry, in those fine lines, it says that they can turn over those papers to invest in like FBI and stuff like that. So
because
it's
guess
crazy.
what? If a company is offering you a service that's crazy expensive and they're making it affordable, that means that they're getting cheap loans as a startup, which I actually think it's good that they're using DNA evidence to track down killers. The problem is that they have that information now. Like,
yep, that's my problem with it. I have a hard time with that one.
Oh, me too. I think it's horrible. I think, and I also don't know about how that stacks. Like, obviously I want that like those pieces of shit to be caught, but like that's kind of, is that unfair? Is that Fourth Amendment? Like, has that been to the Supreme Court yet? Because like But I mean, you
I'm
can
sure.
you can technically sign over. Like, remember when Disney, like that couple tried to sue Disney because they got hurt on a ride, and it
Oh,
turns
that's
out
right.
they had Disney Plus, so they basically agreed to go through an independent arbitration committee if they
Yes.
ever wanted to sue the Disney Corporation for liability. This is what I mean by it's a casino. It's rigged. Like,
It is rigged.
people are like, oh, it's $200 for 23andMe. And no offense to anybody who's done 23andMe. I'm just Greek. So like
I just
parents,
won't do it.
my parents are 23andMe. I can just ask them. They're like,
Same.
they know all the shit, dude. Like, yeah, I'm sure it's the same with you too. It's like, if you come from a family of people that are immigrants, like, you don't need 23andMe.
You
Like,
don't. You know all of your family. I literally go to holidays and they're like, "Oh, here's your other second, third cut." I'm like, "Okay."
yeah, I'm like, whoa. I've been to weddings before for my Greek family where I'd never met the groom and the bride. And I didn't know
Okay.
which one was my cousin. They come to the receiving line and they're like, hey, I guess we're third cousins. And I'm like, hey, why did you invite me? And like, so I never did 23andMe, but it was the same. I knew it was the same thing as Netflix. I was like, they're gonna lose money, and then they're gonna sell the company, and the only thing that they're gonna have,
sell it to data.
they're all the only thing they have is data. Like, that's the only thing that they have at the end of the day.
Literally.
You got to think about companies like they're already bankrupt, and then you figure out, like, if you think, man, that's too good to be true, then you think,
Yep.
if it's too good to be true, maybe it's not a good idea. How are they going to make money down the line? And then it's like, what do they have of me that they can sell to somebody else? It's just like debt, you
This
know?
is crazy. I was just reading about the 23andMe bidding war thing. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's like debt. Like, you get debt. Like, when you go bankrupt,
And then they sell your debt.
they sell your debt. That's
It's
why.
so messed up.
Here's a fun tip for all of our watchers out there. If you ever get a phone call from a collection agency, remember, let's say you owe $100, okay? And let's say you owe $100 and somebody says, hi, I'm calling to discuss Stephen Tapis's debt with Claire Elena. She lent him $100 10 years ago. And if she's not saying, if Claire didn't pick up the phone, or it's not like Claire's employee, like, hey, I work for Claire, we need to pay you back. If a collection agency is calling on behalf of Claire, that means that they went to Claire and they said, hey, you're never going to get paid back from Steve, so I'm going to buy $100 worth of debt for $20. So if you call them and they offer to let you pay it back for $100, you should say, I would like to settle. You can say this to a debt collector and then offer them 10 cents on the dollar,
Right.
15 cents on the dollar, 20 cents on the dollar. And
That's
then
why I tell people when you have to pay a hospital bill, they can't sell it to collections, even if you're paying $5 a month.
Yep, that's exactly. I met a guy who was a multimillionaire. I don't even want to say his name or what he did, but he was HIV positive. A great guy, super successful. Managed his diagnosis like beautifully, like long-term partnership with another man. And but I talked to him and I'm like, what do you like, what are you talking to me for? Because like, you don't need health insurance. Like, he's like, oh no, I never have health insurance. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, I just go to the hospital and I don't pay my bills. And I'm like, what do you mean you don't pay your bills? He's like, dude, what do you think? I'm like,
you should also always ask for an itemized bill because it'll knock down your bill crazy.
Yeah, because if you see it, that's the other thing. If you look at an itemized bill at a hospital, there's like $25 for a bottle of aspirin. It's actually more. It's like $50. It's like they charge you $25 for a single aspirin. So you can listen, if there's anything that's a bill, anything, I don't care who you're talking to. If you're talking to Apple, if you're talking to Amazon, if you're talking to a hospital, argue every item that you have the energy to argue.
And they usually give up faster because they just don't want to.
They don't care. There's too many people. If everybody argued about their bills, we would get much better deals on stuff. But
we would.
But not everybody does. So what you have to do is you have to go in there, and this is easy for me to say because I'm a white guy, so there's a lot of privilege in that. Just being like
true.
Like, it's different for different folks. So I understand I'm speaking from a position of privilege. And that said, I think it's important for everyone to exercise their right. They got to fight.
And I will happily come in with you as a patient's advocate and as a white woman.
Yeah, and if you want me to call somebody for you,
seriously,
I can
Same.
just be like, hey, I'm calling to I'm just saying I'm calling on behalf of, and usually if you say on behalf of,
They
they're not
believe
gonna
you.
they're not gonna ask a follow-up question that I have to lie about that would be illegal. I'm like, they're gonna be like, are you a lawyer? And then I'd be like, nope. And they're gonna be like, you're calling on behalf of him. I'll be like, yeah, it's my friend. Now,
Yeah.
listen, bozo buckets at United Airlines. I see here that my friend went to a funeral
It's true.
and you overcharged them because they were using a browser that that shared their text history with their family, which means that
Yeah.
your
Oh
dynamic
my God,
pricing
yes.
exploited their family tragedy.
They do that hard.
If you're ever going to book a flight, this is like Stephen Clare's little hacks. We have to have little life hack sessions.
Wait, we should. I have so many.
Can I just say we also have to have a moment where everything I want to do this because I got to tell you, Meg is like my best bud. Like she's
love Meg.
I'm so grateful for Meg, and I just want to have a little look at this. I have my Patrick Stewart candle that my cousin Monica gave me. I don't even because this is what I light for auditions.
Yeah.
I also put this thing in here. A modest man never talks to himself. And I've decided that I'm gonna make this Meg moment. This is my Meg moment candle.
That's so sweet, Meg. We're lighting a candle for you.
Because Meg, you told me earlier today to just chill, and then you'll find it. Just be yourself. And now me and Claire are talking about our life hacks. We've done a show and tell segment. We've talked about Uganda. We haven't even talked about
our
politics.
last phone call was like an hour and a half, and we talked about like everything under the sun.
Meg, this is yep, that's a Meg.
I will tell you what, Meg is one of the most good friends to have because she will come to me and be like, you need to turn your phone off and take a break and like watch a movie tonight. And like I need that because
Me too.
I won't even know how to turn off. So like having a friend like Megan is just like a gift because while she may doubt herself, and we all do, she's truly one of the most incredible people who actually looks out for her friends and cares so much about the well-being of everyone. And I just really respect that because I would rather a friend come to me and be like, turn your phone off, unplug, versus like, keep working, keep doing it.
Yeah,
you got this.
That's what she told me. She's like, dude, the problem is that this completely changed the way I looked at art. Okay. Meg is one of the people that made me change the way I look at art. And then when I used to live in a funeral parlor turned art gallery.
No way. That's actually sick.
It was a collective. Yeah. Actually, Andrew, who's friends with Meg, knows where it is. It's secret, but it's cool.
That's awesome.
I lived there for like 2 years. And the artist there used to say that art is not about making it. You just make it every day. It's about your practice. And I was like, that changed my life. And then Meg was like, yo, you make art like you sell technology. She didn't tell me this way, but like the way she said it, she's like, we can't burn ourselves out. That's what they want, man.
Mm-hmm.
If it doesn't feel right, don't fight through it. Just be yourself.
Yeah.
It's like, it shouldn't be that hard. And I realized. So anyways, but yeah, no. So we have life hack. We're having life hack sessions. We're doing a new segment called life. It's, and the segment is really not going to even be a segment because it's not going to be pre-planned. It's just going to be like, I'm going to put that down. I'm going to be like, hey, are there any life hacks that you have that people should know about?
I wrote it down too.
Oh, good. Yeah, no, I got my legal pad here. This is my desk pad. It's very long. Yeah, there we go. What's up? Okay. Life hack.
I love how you and I work. But yeah, no, I love that. Because there's so many good ones. Like, as much as I hate social media sometimes, like, I'll see a video that teaches me a hack that actually works, and like I love it. Like, there was a random one the other day about like how to actually like do your baked potatoes in a way that's like quicker and stuff. And with my kids who want food right away and they love those, it was so useful.
Dude, that's what I'm talking about.
I needed this.
Well, that's the life hack that people need to take away from this conversation. If you want to buy airline tickets and you have to do it for a quick turnaround, clear your browser history.
Literally clear your browser.
Delete all. Actually, I have 3 separate browsers on my phone, and 2 of them are one of them, because then you just have the tabs like for your personal stuff, and then you have it for the show that I have, and then But DuckDuckGo is good for
That's
when
what
I
I
buy
use.
flights. That's what I use for flights because you can delete your cache cookies and history immediately.
Yeah.
And your prices will go down like $200.
It's crazy.
It's
That's
so
crazy.
it's a casino. They're
Yeah,
literally-
that's insane.
now they're openly rigging, like, you know, in casinos, just like in the interest of symmetry, just like
Yes.
dynamic pricing. Casinos now, it used to be when you played blackjack, you would get 1.5 to 1 odds. So basically, if you bet $10 and you got a blackjack, you'd get 15 back.
Yeah.
Now they're paying 6 to 5, which means now if you bet $10, you only get 12 back, which means the house edge goes from 1% to like 5%, which is
And
a
how much are they
shitload.
pocketing?
Because if you have $10,000, if you have $1,000 and you made 1% per day on
Mhm.
$1,000, in less than 3 years, you would have $1 million. So you go from 1,000 to 1,010, 1,010 to
That's
1,000,
crazy.
1,021. That's the power of compound interest. So having an extra 4% makes them their odds, and that's exactly what they're doing with dynamic pricing. They're not even hiding the fact that they're rigging it anymore. They're just like, whatever, we need money. Like,
It's so frustrating. That's why I also like buying secondhand because I can't. Like mass consumption of clothes these days and the quality is terrible and the prices are high. I'm like, no.
the cool thing is that, you know, you can also buy people's debt secondhand, and then you can abolish it.
Also true.
So you
I
can
forgot
actually,
about that.
you can go to, like, I want to do like a telethon once we get a bigger audience. If you haven't liked and shared the stream yet, I know we don't have that many followers yet, but we're getting there. We're getting there.
We are.
And you can do a I want to do a telethon to abolish medical debt, so we can like buy some medical debt and
That would be so sick.
yeah, there's this one actor who I really like, who like made like $10 million. It's like he like bought some real estate and then he like sold it and then he used it to get rid of $100 million.
That's awesome. There's so
medical
many parents who are in debt solely because their kids have cancer, and like that's such an under-researched and underfunded thing in America. Like that would just be so cool to like help someone out that way. Like I think that's just incredible.
I don't say F the patriarchy because I'm part of the patriarchy. What I'm saying is embrace the matriarchy. Like, it's not enough for me to just say fuck the patriarchy, but we need to embrace the matriarchy.
I fully agree with that.
And we need to go from, because, you know, fuck the patriarchy is like saying like fuck Donald Trump. Like, what's your thesis statement? Like, I mean, also fuck them because they suck, but like we suck. Men suck.
So true.
Like we've been, and it's not that we suck. It's not that we inherently suck. It's that we were culturally raised to suck.
That society. I fully
yeah.
blame society.
Yeah, we were totally raised to suck. And I mean, we always kind of historically did suck, but I was talking to this guy who I want my editor to clip this, but because his name is I think his name's Kaniela, and he's an activist in Hawaii, and he's a Hawaiian, like an indigenous Hawaiian, and we were talking about what we were talking about at the beginning about how men are like hardwired to be idiots. Like we're incentivized by biology in order to like go and kill a mammoth. You have to be very stupid to want to go and hunt a mammoth. So that's what testosterone is. Gets us all jacked up with other men. And then the feeling we get after we kill the mammoth, when we're all jacked up on testosterone, releases dopamine so that we are continue to be stupid enough to kill the mammoth, right? That's why young men go to fight war, right? So what I was talking to this guy, and I think his name is Kaniela. If I've got his name wrong, I'll make sure that I get it right with our editor. But he was saying that the reason that in his community, in his tribe community, he said that the women always historically were responsible for keeping the hunter humble. So in other words, if a hunter came back and said like, look at this boar I got, I'm the shit, all the women in the tribe would taste the boar and they would be like, this meat isn't that good. Exactly. And they would say, I'm telling you, I don't even know why I'm telling you that. I'm not telling you this. I'm telling our audiences because I love
that.
And they would say, oh, you're not that good. The arrow was sharp. She made it. It's great. And he's like, but that's like symbiosis. That's love right there. It's like keeping the people that you love in check, you know? And it's like, because it's like, you never really, life isn't a game, because if it was, we'd all lose. You know what I mean? Like, we all die. Like, it sucks, but like, scarcity is what makes it worth it.
That's
And,
so
like,
true.
so you got to keep people that you care about safe. And one way to keep men safe is to just keep them humble, because we will go and fuck something up because
Yeah.
it feels good.
That's so true.
Including ourselves.
That's so true.
That's
I do
why
have to kind of hop off soonish, but
go for it. You
whenever.
were such a pleasure to have. Thank you.
How long are you staying on?
I think I'm probably gonna get off. I'm gonna read this quote and then we're gonna call it.
Okay, cool.
So the quote I have here is first be best and then be first. Okay, first be best, then be first. Okay,
I
first
like that.
person who said it was Grant Tinker, who is the father of a dear friend of mine. And
That's a really good quote.
I wouldn't say that I was his mentee, but I was his employee, and I worked with him, and he was a cool guy, is a cool guy, very cool guy. And yeah, first be best, then be first. And Grant Tinker was he was a lot of things. You can Google it though. He's the guy who said it. And
I like that.
so yeah, first be best, then be first. What do you think it means, Claire? I don't know that there's a right answer, but I've never heard. I know what I think it means, but what do you think it
I
means?
think it means that, like, first you need to work on yourself and be the best version of yourself that you can, and then you can lead. And be
Ooh,
first.
that's so good, dude.
Because I think you can't lead well without knowing you and being the best version of yourself.
That's so deep. That's why. Okay, best version of self, then leader, then lead others. Okay, so for me, I always think about it like, be like kind of what we're doing with Party Crashers, right? All of us are. All of us. I'm good at putting people together and asking them questions. So, and being funny. When things don't seem funny.
You're good at a lot of things.
Thank you. I'm growing a mustache. Need
Definitely.
that. I need to hear that. So I always think like, okay, it took me like 15 years to get it took me like 12 years to get like funny, where I would say like, I'm funny. Like I'm pretty funny. And then I started being funny places like that I didn't learn how to be funny. Like,
Yeah.
I stopped going on stage and I started going on the internet. And then like, that's kind of, but like, I like both things can be right. That's what
I like yours too. I mean, there's a lot to it. I think you can also, like, in the sense of like, first we can like be the best, like, even as like a community, like, yeah, we might be backwards right now with our like leadership, but like, if we the people still continue to try to be our best, and like eventually we'll be first one day. Like, I don't know, like, I think it plays in both, like, in every way. Like, I always tell people this, that in this community of activism and in this work, no matter what, even in day-to-day normal jobs, that you can only help others if you are also helping yourself, and you cannot pour from an empty cup. You can't. So I think like the only way we can help people is also by being the best versions of ourselves.
Wow. As a white man, I have a disease where I have the last word, but I'm just going to say that my problem is I always have the last word, and it's my show, but
I love
Claire,
it. You have the last word.
Nope, you do. Everybody, follow us tomorrow. Follow us so that you can tune in tomorrow. I'm going to be on at 2:00. Put a little love in it. I love that, Chicago Bish. That's your Maxim. I want a Chicago Bish Maxim for every show that she's here. Chicago Bish is our general of the army. She is one of our first 3 paid subscribers out of 3. $4.99 a month, and you just know that you're getting independent media. If you see a backdrop with like a company name on it one day, then you can unsubscribe. But we're not going for that. This is a community supporting a community. So everybody, first be best, then be first. Follow Claire G, Mama Bear, Claire Elena on the gram. We're gonna cut up some clips that feature Claire. We'll be back here tomorrow at 2 p.m. Central Time, 3 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Mountain, 12 p.m. Pacific, and then I think that's probably going to be 8 p.m. Greenwich Standard Time for our friends in England. Shout out to Khalil. All right. Love y'all.
I love that.